we do the activity, and then we can maybe talk a little bit about the activity in terms of what is the activity, what does it do, maybe what the mechanics are around that activity, and maybe more about how could we use this activity in our own context. So I'm speaking to the applied theatre people who, from what I understand, their job is to go into the community and to work in the community in a particular way. And so I'm offering some tools that can help us engage and enable people to participate, feel welcomed, feel safe, feel perhaps in their comfort zone, but also during that process that they may feel a little bit stretched in their comfort zone. In order for us to learn anything, one has to shift from one position into another position to gather that learning. And so if you're feeling comfortable, like maybe we all are here, that's great, that's nice. But for us to go on the journey of discovery and learning, we have to come out of our comfort zone to some extent, and you know what that extent is for you personally. You have to shift from that comfort zone into the stretching zone, and perhaps in the stretching zone, things may or may not become apparent for you, but that's the learning that will happen. And beyond the stretching zone can sometimes be found the panic zone, which happens in the community sometimes. So I'd like to just start by explaining some of the activities that I would particularly use when I'm in a workshop, a community, a school, a prison, a hospital. For me, it's all about play. How do I get the group of people that I'm with, how do I get them to play? Because, Sarah, you said it earlier, everything starts with creativity. And for me, the number one goal to my work and what I feel that I should be doing all the time is playing. Because when we can play, we discover. We're open for new learning by playing. You watch children when they play. They don't have any inhibitions. They don't kind of think, hang on a minute, no. They just play, and that's where the learning comes. So my job is really to find a way to get the groups to play. So what I also want to be aware of is that you can take notes, you can write down information, you can question me, but also I want to do the activity so that we experience it, and maybe we can use it afterwards. And it may be that there are some activities that if I introduce one and you go, oh, I know this one, or I've done this, or I've seen it, please tell me, because then I'll introduce a variation of it that you may or may not know, so that there is still learning to be had from the one activity. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. So, one of my questions in my head goes, oh, what do we do? Do we do a game that's already with people sitting on chairs, or do we get people up and moving in a space? And maybe we'll just do the both. So one of the activities that I love doing, absolutely love doing, and I'm hoping that you all know the activity. It's called a different couple of names, but the name that I use is called Anyone Who, or sometimes it's called The Sun Shines On. But essentially, the game is played where the facilitator is in the middle of the space. And let's imagine there are no empty spaces. Where you're sat are the only chairs available. And so what the game hopes to achieve is to find out what we have in common. I just parachuted in to some institution, some workplace, some community, some society, some place, and I'm going to start work. And I need to find out a little bit about the people here. We all need to find out a little bit about ourselves in order for us to kind of go along this journey of working and discovering and exploring these issues that are important. So this activity is a nice little starter, first course meal, starter that gets us warmed up into the exploration of the topic. So, how does the game work? It works very, very simply by me calling out some things that you may or may not have done. So, for example, if I said anybody who's ever played sports before, most people would have played sports. Most people would have read a book. Most people would have been on a bus. Most people would have worn jeans, whatever. I may say some things. If you agree with the term, the statement that I am using, you simply get up out of your chair and you walk across the space and you sit on the next chair that is available. These empty chairs that you see around, they are out of bounds. Only the chairs that you're sitting on are included. I hope that made sense. I hope you understand. We're going to begin the game. I'm going to lead off with some very simple questions and we see how we go. Can we start?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
I still can't hear you.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, anyone who has ever had an argument before? Remember what I said? You remember what I said?
No, not on that chair. Right now, not on that chair. On the chair. No, that one is not on.
Already the game has made things happen in the space. We're hearing people calling out about other people, and that's great. Why is that great? Because that tells us something about people without going up to them. Excuse me, can you tell me a little bit about that? You don't need to do that. The game does these things for us. So in a way, what am I saying? I'm saying games are the key to finding out the exploration of an activity, an issue, a topic. The game can help us. So let's play the game again. Continue, we'll see where we go. Anyone who has a brother or sister? Okay, so now that you know how to play the game, can I ask that you know that's all out of bounds? Can we just turn that around so that's out of bounds? Oh, you should come back. Can we just turn that around so that's out of bounds? Right, great. So, everyone who is sitting on a chair, fantastic, this is all out of bounds. I'm going to say another statement, but this time I will sit down on a chair. Therefore, it will leave somebody up here in the middle. And your job is to remain calm, cool, collective, but essentially you're on it. You are on it, and your job is to find a statement that you feel you can say that most people may or may not relate or identify with. It could be something that you personally wear, you've gone to, you've seen, you've borrowed, you do. It's something personally that you would say that may or may not relate and connect to other people. So, remember, when you're up here, there will be one person. That's your job, is to lead the game by saying the statement. Okay, so here we go. Anyone who has ever combed their hair before? So, how you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Good. So, this person now will say something, ideally, anything that you want to say that is personally to yourself, that may or may not relate to us, and may or may not move. And you can begin the statement of the game by saying anyone who,
Anyone who has taken a picture before.
Is everyone okay?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone who has been to the drama studio before?
All right. Anyone who has been on WhatsApp this morning?
Okay. Let's just pause a second.